Hello.
And welcome to Film Bastards.
Welcome to episode 533 of Film Bastards. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, one and all. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by
Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
I'm Becky Foster. Hello, everybody.
You weren't saying anything.
You just jumped in.
You didn't chime in.
I always go first.
You weren't quick enough off the blocks there.
You're a tit.
It did sound weird as well.
It felt weird, to be honest.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
I got confused.
I was taking an intake of breath to go, Becky Foster, hello, everybody, and you were like, no.
What was he like? Do that again.
Mac.
Yeah, there we go. Good. That's
Like
the energy.
two of us here.
Fucking hell. Good stuff. Coming up on this week's show, we've already got the one main review for the first time in what feels like a fucking eternity. The film that has absolutely shit on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire's serial, and I could not be more delighted. We're going to talk Godzilla in collaboration with Kong. And,
and let's face it, would you right now, if you were sat down and your mum pulled out a cereal and she went, do you want Buster Bites or do you want Zilla Drops? You'd be like, I'll fucking take some Zilla Drops. I'll take some corn nuggets.
yeah.
Kong Nuggets sounds wrong.
I know, but you'd chow down on that fucking chocolatey cereal, wouldn't you?
I'll tell you what, Kong Flakes sounds worse.
Kong Flakes does sound worse.
He's got really bad dandruff.
Just who knows where those flakes come from.
It's just the advert's just him shaking, just like loads of kids with bowls holding up these flakes, just getting it in, and they're just chowing down it, going, "This is great."
This is getting gross now.
It's not great. So, Godzilla in collaboration with Kong, and we'll have some movie news, what we've been up to, Twitter questions, maybe. Who knows? I haven't seen.
Unfortunately, we don't at the moment because I didn't put any out because I've literally got back from work about a minute ago.
Top stuff. I didn't think I'd seen any polls,
No.
so I was wondering.
Yeah,
All right, well.
I for clarity, guys, I have zero signal to get anything out at work, and I was supposed to arrive home at 5 o'clock, and then traffic delayed me to getting home literally about 5-10 minutes ago.
Bloody wind turbine sails, getting stuck on roundabouts.
Yeah, part of it is a wind turbine sail is literally blocking off the main access to our village.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
It would appear like it can't. It's because they're fucking huge. It can't actually get round the roundabout, and so
Yeah.
it's literally stuck.
Note to driver: don't go on routes. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. But Mark is here. He's made it through the wind turbine sail, and he's here.
Yeah.
So,
I might have actually at that point though have been sat there going, I haven't moved for 10 fucking minutes. Fuck it, and just gone over the central reservation so I could come back and go the other way that we can get into the village.
The back way.
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
Mark has taken the back passage.
Mildly illegal, but you know.
There's soupçon of illegality about it.
Yeah. The secret ingredient is crime.
Crime.
Super song.
Good.
I love it when that gets used in real life.
I use it as often as I can.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. So, weird start to the show. We are a Pod Syndicate podcast, so please do listen to like-minded shows such as Trench Stroker vs. Punter, his film Who Movie. The episodes are still there, as George said last week. The Rewatch Project, Entertainment Landfill, I believe, is back, and others. So, here we are. Let's talk some news. It's been announced in the last couple of hours a new Matrix movie's coming.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, so one of the Wachowskis is executive producing. It is to be written and directed by Drew Goddard, who, it's an interesting choice. Wrote Cloverfield, The Martian, Cabin in the Woods.
The Fall Guy, I believe. The upgrade The Fall Guy, was that?
I think that was Drew Pearce.
Drew Pearce.
I think it was the Iron Man 3 dude.
Getting my Drews mixed up.
Yeah, but that's all good. Yes, this... he approached Warner Brothers with a take, and they were into it. And like I say, I think it's Lana Wachowski is executive producing, so there is some sort of connection there. Some sort. Kind of feels like more a, crack on, mate, kind of a connection, but
we will cash that check.
yeah. No word on any of the cast coming back. I'll be honest, I am surprised because The Matrix Resurrections did not do very well. And yes, okay, it was kind of COVID-y time, but yeah, that film didn't do that well. Didn't seem to be universally liked, but they're having another bite at it, which makes me think they're not going to have the original cast. I think it's going to be all new.
I think it's going to be all new. And I think it's that. I think they've looked at it and gone, do you know what? The last Matrix film wasn't a massive success, but there was things around it that might have contributed to that. But the Matrix as an entity and a franchisable thing, it's still a big deal. Can we work this out if we've got a good idea for looking at it from a different angle, from a new generation? Is there a way that we can just reboot this and kind of replicate the success that we had with the first iterations of it?
Just put Timmy Schultz in it, that'll work.
That feels way too obvious.
I mean, yeah, that's the point I was making.
It probably will happen. It'll be one of the Charles Butler. There'll be somebody along those lines.
A hot property.
Yes.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? It's I mean, I think Matrix Resurrections, I want to say, was the same Christmas that Spider-Man No Way Home came out.
I think it was, yeah.
So, there's just some major... Fucking hell, guys. It was at the same time. Actually, or was it? I think it was 21. It was when, yeah, it was, because it was the same period that Warner Brothers were doing stuff day and date in the US as well.
Yeah.
So you could literally just watch The Matrix Resurrections Christmas week at home if you wanted to, instead of going to the cinema, and then it underperforms. But they didn't do that they didn't do that outside the US. So, but yeah, good luck to it.
Yeah. I will go back and rewatch that at some point, The Matrix Resurrections.
It's all right. Once, honestly, second time round, once you've kind of adjusted to what that film actually is, I think it sets better. But yeah, good stuff. So I don't know. That'll probably be a couple of years' time, won't it? Okay. Jack O'Connell's going to be the bad guy in a kind of new, somewhat mystery project that Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are developing. Some sort of period action film coming out next year. That sounds interesting.
Jack O'Connor?
Yeah, Jack O'Connell.
Connell, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I like the idea... Yeah. I like the idea of Coogler and Michael B. Jordan going, we've got some heat, let's make an original action movie.
Yeah.
That's cool. And Coogler taking a break from Marvel is great.
Yeah, because the weird thing there is, also Ryan Coogler taking a break from existing properties.
Yes.
What was it? Feature films, Fruitvale Starvation was 11 years ago now. And since then, he's made 3 movies, and they've all been existing properties.
Yeah, exactly. That's. I think we were talking on the show a couple of weeks back about, or maybe last week about, Cillian Murphy using his clout to get something original, or at least a book adaptation, but it's based on a book at least, off the ground, and you got Coogler doing this, and it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Challengers does, and what that could do for Zendaya in the future.
Yeah.
I think that's out in a few weeks. Last week of April, I want to say. So I think that's super, super promising. Look forward to it, whatever the fuck it is. It'd be cool if they were just doing Shaft.
Yeah, that would be fucking pretty cool, that, actually, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're not, but it would be fun. Okay, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like those were the only things that were really, really coming to mind this week for me.
There was Russell Crowe announcing that that he wants to do 3.
Oh, sorry, forgive me. Yeah, we need to do about 20 minutes on this, don't we?
Yeah.
So, yes, Russell Crowe was asked about Pope's Exorcist sequels. The dog is barking in the background. Apologies if that is being picked up on the recording. Someone's walked past the house and set her off. He said that the ex-head of Screen Gems was really up for doing a trilogy. There's a new head now, and basically it's kind of up to him whether they do it. The Pope's Exorcist made money, and it made money quite easily.
Yeah.
And horror does well, and people enjoyed the Pope's Exorcist, like, for whatever reasons they enjoyed it. Let Russell Crowe cook.
Modern classic.
It's a great. Yeah, I'm a fan. Thinking about it, actually, I've been watching quite a bit of religious horror, which we'll talk about later, of late, and I haven't rewatched The Pope's Exorcist, so I'm going to see how much it is on Apple right now. But yes, there needs to be more. The world demands it.
Yeah. I do like the idea that they said we basically left it so it could be put into kind of any situation. It's $5.99 Ian.
Or it's on Sky.
But it's 4K Dolby Atmos, $5.99.
To be fair, it'll be 4K and Dolby Atmos on Sky as well.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, if it was $3.99, I'd just go for it. I don't know. I'm a cheap bastard. But yeah, if it's on Sky, I will rewatch that. By the way, as well, just coming up, I didn't watch Roadhouse or Twister.
I mean, we can wait for Twister until Twister comes out, I think.
I will watch them. Yeah, that would actually make more sense to watch Twister before Twisters. I've got good reasons. I was going to watch one of them on Sunday and then ended up in A&E for a couple of hours. So,
it's a very decent reason.
Yeah. That's what I've been up to.
It is a little bit, isn't it?
Does Becky know about this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to... Sorry. I've kind of mentioned it now. I kind of feel like it's going to be shrouded in mystery. Apparently, one of the top causes for fainting, says our actuary friend who works in life insurance, is getting out of the bath, which I found out on Sunday. Absolutely wild. Something to do with not enough oxygen getting to the brain or something. But I was looking in my bathroom mirror, and the next thing I know, I'm in the bath, in my towel, and Lottie's just like, what's going on? I get out of the bath, I sit on the toilet seat, and I go again. It's fucking bizarre. Have either of you two ever fainted?
Yes.
I used to be a right fainter.
You used to faint quite a lot, didn't you?
Yeah. When I was knocked up, I used to faint quite a lot. I fainted in the bathroom at work, in a locked cubicle. So obviously nobody could rescue me. And then I went and had some of that toxic orange stuff because it was full of sugar, and I was alright after that. But yeah, it's... baths, I always feel a wee bit dizzy if I get out of the bath because it's really hot, and then all of a sudden standing up from a basically laid down position. I think it's fairly common. I don't think I've ever done a full on faint getting out of the bath, but I feel woozy.
It was fucking just wild. Like, just, feeling something coming on in your brain, and then just the next second, just I'm down. It's so weird.
You almost feel like, I don't feel right. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was that, it was that. It was so weird. And, we phoned 111, because Donna looked it up, and, she, was like, I think you might have had a TIA, which is, a mini stroke. And I was like, fucking hell, okay. But then phoned 111. They were like, look, we're going to tell you to go to A&E. but it's gonna be because you just got out of the bath, but they're gonna need to check you over. And then like literally went down there. They gave me an ECG, asked me a few questions, and the doctor was just like, "Yeah, it was the bath. It's a perfectly reasonable explanation. Don't worry about it. If it happens again, or if you get like breathlessness and stuff, then you need to do something about it. But you're fine."
To be fair, Googling symptoms is like the worst.
Yeah,
I had a poorly shoulder the other day, and Google told me I was having a heart attack.
No, I mean it's, believe me, not a criticism of Donna at all. But like it, yeah. There was like what, just like what the fuck. Like it's kind of like freaking out, but doing it in a way that's not going to freak your kid out, and like really just trying to keep it on a swivel. Is something. But anyway, that's why I didn't watch Roadhouse on Sunday night.
I am the exact opposite of what most people have with WebMD, though, aren't I?
Yeah. Yeah,
How
but
so?
we if we ever Google symptoms, it's like, oh my god, right? So like there was blood spurting from my fingertips, so I Googled it, and Google said it was really serious. Stupid Google.
Yeah. I literally could have anything happen, and I'll be like, oh, it's fine. I'll walk it off, and Nap will sort this one out. My arm is literally hanging off. I don't know. I'll just tape it.
On that note, should we talk some trailers?
Yeah. It's fucking good.
I'm glad it was just a hot bath though, Ian.
I'm glad it was just a hot bath.
Yeah, no, thanks.
It's also
Thank
quite
you.
an amusing anecdote as well. I went to A&E because I got out of the bath.
I mean, yeah, but like 100%. It was only because like 111 told me to. Like I did not fucking fancy doing that. Believe me.
No, and it's better to be safe than sorry, innit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. With those kind of things.
But it's like Donna won't let me drive at the moment. Like she's like, just give it a few days and make sure nothing else happens. Which again, absolutely get it. But at the same time, the doctor literally told me it was because I got out of the bath. It's fine. Oh, sorry. Bear with. I've just had a 2-minute long message from my sister. I will be back.
You want to sing some hold music?
What?
You want to sing some hold music?
Yeah, you start.
No.
You want to sing?
I don't want to sing.
What would be good home music for singing?
Your Buffy theme tune from back in the day.
I've done that before on the podcast, I think.
Yeah.
I've done that for a film before, yeah. You
can't do that for 2 minutes.
I bet I fucking could.
Yeah, you probably could.
I bet I fucking could. It just comes from because it was boring listening to that same fucking theme tune every fucking time we had to watch that goddamn show before. Like, streaming services just have that great button where you can go, skip intro.
I always find it a bit disrespectful skipping the intro for stuff.
I don't. I've watched it before. I know who these people are.
Work's gone into that.
Cool, and I watched your work happen.
What?
I watched the work happen. I've watched it before. Don't just watch it every time, do you?
No, that's fair. If you're binging something.
Exactly. You're binging something, you're basically wasting your own time. It's indulgent. So yeah, so come up with a different theme tune for it, just to entertain myself.
Yeah, what was it used to be on? Was it BBC Two?
It used to be on BBC Two, didn't it? It was like the 6:15 slot. It was 6:15 because it was 45 minutes long. It took it to 7 o'clock.
Fair.
Yeah, it took it to that. So it's a 6:15 slot that was all of like the slightly, young adult market.
I miss being able to unproblematically watch Buffy.
I don't.
Yeah, well, you're not a big Buffy guy.
I watched all of it with you.
You did actually.
But yeah, it's just great that people can go back and rewatch it and really enjoy it. I genuinely could not think of many things worse.
Yeah, have you heard much about this Nickelodeon show that's been Quiet on Set? I think it is. It's about all the shit that one man put all the kids through.
Yeah, and you know what it's like though? Whenever something like this happens, loads of people come out and start going, "Oh yeah, I remember working on that, and it was really weird." It's like, well, why don't you fucking come out with this years ago?
If they were kids, it's been...
No, but there's been other people, like more grown-up actors. Going, yeah, there was some shady shit going on there. Cool. But you didn't think to go, maybe this guy's not...
I know, but it's difficult, isn't it? If these, like, what was he, like the showrunner?
Yeah.
And you're just like, I don't know, fucking costume guy to come out and say something about it.
It's not been costume guys, it's been people like who were prominently working on it.
I've almost like purposefully not looked into that stuff because it just seems really fucking
Grim.
upsetting.
Yeah, it's grim.
Just yeah.
I just feel really sorry for people like Jeanette McCurdy. Like, she had shit that she's dealt with and come out about with her mother, and she was dealing with that shit as well from him.
It's just the fact that like these people who have had to go through all this shit, they're never gonna get like a like appropriate recompense.
No.
You know, like it's just, you know, you can give them all the money in the world, but if it's like they've been having to deal with really intense personal shit for like years and years and years following it, it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's your life, and you only have one of them, don't you? For fuck's sake.
There's very little compensation you can get for fundamentally changing somebody as a person.
Yeah, no, exactly. Oh god, dearie me. Right, okay, let's fucking talk about some cheerier stuff. Trailers, Jesus Christ. Weird teaser for Yorgos Lanthimos' new one, Kinds of Kindness.
Yes.
Apparently it's an anthology, and it's coming out in June.
Yes.
So, I'm sure, really, really weird time of year to release the follow-up to Poor Things, but okay.
Yeah, it's really odd that like Poor Things, like the whole kind of like Oscars thing happened, and then it was like, oh, by the way, he's got another film coming out. Oh, when? June. Wait, what? It's finished. Yeah. Turns out he just made it straight after Poor Things.
But I mean, good on him.
I like the fact that this one looks like it's set in now times.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. And it looks like I like the fact that it looks bright. I'm intrigued by it.
Yeah. It's a good teaser, to be fair.
It is a good teaser. Yeah. It looks to be... It doesn't look like it's got... I'm sure it will do. I'm sure it'll have his fingerprints in it. But it doesn't... I like the fact that Yorgos Lanthimos seems to be growing quite a lot as a filmmaker with each film. And I think that's really fucking interesting.
Yeah.
I will be stunned if I like a film of his more than Poor Things at this point, but that's also absolutely fine.
Yeah, and I think with this, look at the what is it? I don't think he means for you to like it more than Poor Things. I think it's one of those.
Okay, I just WhatsApped you guys a trailer.
I've already watched this.
Okay, I just need a minute and 12 seconds to watch the teaser trailer for Bambi: The Reckoning.
Well, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Bailey's Mint Shop Shake advert.
We're getting exactly the same advert.
Wow, poor. Bailey's are doing some really weird ads at the moment.
Yeah.
That's the ad where it's like, Bailey's! No. Right, here we go.
Here we go, yeah. Oh.
Okay.
That doesn't look good.
Ooh, what's that? Is that a bird? It is a bird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pigeon, I think.
Okay. We've got a pigeon. Oh, okay, what's that now?
Ah, you missed your prick.
You ever shot a deer?
Oh shit, are these guys going to get fucked up by Bambi?
Have you?
I think they might, yeah.
Yeah. Once.
Have you watched it?
Okay. Okay, good.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll do.
Car.
That'll do. Yes! Right, okay. That CG looked like it maybe had a little bit of money thrown at it as well. Maybe, even though it was dark.
But there, horror. If you want to hide something, just make it a bit dark, mate.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I don't know. That looked like that had more production value to it than that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey ever did.
Oh, they're now doing the Poohniverse.
Is this part of the Poohniverse?
I don't know if it is part of the Poohniverse.
Okay.
But
I would like to see more of that.
yeah, come on. I'll watch that. I won't ever watch any of the Poohniverse films. I have zero interest. But I'll watch a Bambi.
I'll watch Bambi fuck some people up. Yeah.
Apparently, it is part of the Poohniverse.
It is part of the Poohniverse.
Yeah,
okay.
the Twisted Childhood Universe. Yeah,
The Twisted what?
Twisted Childhood Universe.
The Twisted Childhood Universe. Great stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, it is part of those.
Perfect. An hour ago, the trailer for Cuckoo came up.
You watched this one, didn't you, Baxter?
I did.
What's this like? I haven't seen this yet.
You've not watched it yet. It's it looks suitably creepy. To be fair, I do. Hang on, let me just bring it up. Yeah, it doesn't give an awful lot away in the trailer, but yeah, Dan Stevens being creepy, which sure. I don't know. It's got a real weird vibe, but it doesn't really give anything away, which is interesting. Looks horror-y, creepy.
Okay. That'll do.
Yeah.
I've only got one other, I believe. So have you guys got anything else?
Trailers. The red band for Boy Kills World. I mean,
I was on board with this when I realised that Bill Skarsgård, who is a draw anyway because he's a decent actor, his inner monologue is fucking Archer. So I was in from the start on this one.
I must admit, I'm in for how funny it looks. When you describe something as Looney Tunes gone wrong, I'm kind of like, I'm alright, yeah.
Yeah, I'm heavy keen for this one.
You had me at Looney Tunes.
The bit at the start of this one where like they're laying out the plan and he's just like, his inner monologue's just going, oh shit, they're laying out the whole plan. I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, this is probably important.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the fact that apparently it was they shot it all with without much dialogue written for what he was saying,
Right.
and then literally wrote the dialogue over the top of it.
Nice.
As if to go, we need to do a little bit of Mystery Science Theatre to this fucking thing.
Fair. But yeah, it looks quirky without being twee, which I like.
Yeah.
I'm assuming neither of you guys have watched the Unfrosted trailer.
I think that is the last one we've got to talk about, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So Ian sent this in our boy chat, and I watched the first 5 seconds, paused it, and then messaged Ian saying, "Wait, before I continue, is this an origin story for Pop-Tarts?"
So I started watching this and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, they really need to stop doing these types of films that are just chronicles of things that have happened in relatively recent memory. This is just stupid. We don't need an origin story for fucking Pop-Tarts. And then I was watching it, I was like, oh, it's not like a normal one though.
No.
I might be in for this if it didn't have that fucking twat bag in it that I can't remember the name of.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
There is that. But Hugh Grant playing Tony the Tiger.
Yeah. And I like Melissa McCarthy, so there's enough in its favour. It's just Amy Schumer, I can't bear her.
Yeah, the Amy Schumer bit is... sorry, I'm being distracted by Donna texting me something. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, the Amy Schumer of it all, it feels like she's probably not going to be a major part of it. I don't know, Jerry Seinfeld directing something that maybe he was weirdly somewhat interested in, but just giving it but I'm also taking the piss kind of thing. The thing is, it's interesting because it kind of feels like these biopics of products have only really come about in like the last 12, 18 months.
Yeah.
So it feels like this can't be a reaction to them.
No,
but
it feels like it must have been around it's been developed for a little bit.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? It's odd. But hey, yeah, I mean, look, because of the kind of slightly winking nature of it, sure,
right.
Why not?
Apparently, he approached Netflix with it, and it's based around a joke he used to do in stand-up about the creation of Pop-Tarts.
Okay, that sounds about right.
Yeah. That is Jerry Seinfeld literally doing the, hey, Netflix, I want to do this. And then going, all right. And he's going, I can get all my mates to do it.
Yeah.
But it won't even cost you that much. And, you know, I've got loads of money myself. You don't need to pay me that much.
Yeah.
We'll see. Comes out in May.
Yeah.
Just
Right,
a comment
okay,
on the title of the film, though. Who's eating unfrosted Pop-Tarts? Who's out there in the world looking at the Pop-Tart aisle and going, I think I'll go unfrosted today?
Cowards.
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 100%. You need that sugary hit.
Yeah.
Fucking love Pop-Tarts.
The type of people who will tell you that they can't eat an entire chocolate bar, so they have half and save the rest for later.
I like my mum.
Like your mum does, yeah.
My mum would eat unfrosted Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you talking about? The frosty is probably the healthiest fucking part of it.
I would eat Pop-Tarts, like, every day for breakfast if I didn't, like, not want to be...
Do you know what?
Spectacularly
So,
unhealthy.
one thing I will say about Pop-Tarts is, I don't think I've ever eaten a Pop-Tart that's been in a toaster.
Oh no, they're better cold.
I don't think I've ever eaten like an actual popped tart.
You just burn your mouth on the guts of it if you toast it.
But I have fucking just straight out of the packet raw dogged one.
I've eaten an entire box of Pop-Tarts.
I've seen you do it. It's impressive.
The strawberry frosted is the best. Anyway.
Good.
CS3P Combat. Player 1, choose your character.
Tired of film and television podcasts where the hosts exist in a blissful state of agreement?
Instructor. Player 2, choose your character.
Well, you're in luck.
Punter. Round 1, fight!
Allow me to introduce you to the Chinstroker vs. Punter podcast, featuring two film and television fans from Birmingham, England, who enjoy their media in very different ways.
But anyway, that brings us to the end of the plot of Blue Velvet.
The plot. I mean, the main characters are two of the dullest main characters I have ever encountered in any film.
So join us as we catch up on what we've been watching from our own very different perspectives.
Double KO. Round 2, fight!
You can find us at csvsp.libsyn.com, also on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, all the places that podcasts can be found.
Just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just in That's the third time, though. I mean, is this on?
I've got to ask, and I don't know whether I'm going to keep this in or not. What kinds of things do you think an electric standing desk would be used for other than moving the desk up or down?
I was curious. I didn't know if it did anything else.
What?
Okay. So Noel's just put in our chat a picture of an electric standing desk and it said Noel's bargain hunt continues. Electric standing desk, £100, Amazon, game changer. Mark replies, what's that then? I reply, a desk you can stand at, Mark. Mark replies, why is it electric? I reply, so it can go up or down. So, it's a good question. What other things could an electric standing desk do?
I don't know. It might have lights.
It's standalone charging.
It could be, yeah. It could be like a big old wireless charger.
Okay.
Could be many things.
Okay. I mean, Noel's helpfully sent a video.
Oh wow.
Hang on. Oh, he's doing it. Oh, he's doing it. He's got some music on as well.
It's got presets.
This
Worth
is a chaotic
watching.
fucking show.
Look at that.
I mean, that's pretty good.
That's pretty fucking good for 100 quid.
That's pretty good. Yeah. We've got them at work as well. They're great. Like, just, yeah. If you just want to stand up, like, yeah, they're brilliant. Sorry, if you want to stand up, they're brilliant. Yeah, good review, Ian. That should be my Amazon review.
The Amazon review of this should just be a link to this podcast.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Right, okay. Sorry, that's really, really self-indulgent to talk about shit like that. It's just like a WhatsApp conversation, but Christ. I'm sorry, just what's that then? To an electric standing desk. Just blew my mind, but fair enough. Good stuff. Brilliant. Right. Okay, so Godzilla X in collaboration with Kong, they've dropped their new merch, and it is the new Empire. It is directed by Adam Wingard and stars Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, and Dan Stevens, all getting some lovely paydays, and also a couple of big monsters. So, two ancient titans, Godzilla and Kong, clash in an epic battle. Not really. As humans unravel their intertwined origins. Do they? And connection to Skull Island's mysteries. Huh. So, multiple points of that plot description, I'm not entirely sure, do actually say what the what this is. Also, on IMDb, the front image of IMDb here has got old Becky Hall doing what can only be described as an impression of someone from that horror film Smile. Just going to send it through to you two.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, yes. Yeah.
That's... What's she fucking doing there?
Yeah.
That's a grin. That's a really, really weird, scary grin.
That's caught at the right moment.
Yeah. So... Godzilla in collaboration Kong, also starring Trevor from EastEnders, fresh off of his role a couple years back as the first commissioner in the Batman. Yeah, that's right.
Hell.
That guy just pops up every now and then, but I bet he gets some fucking lovely royalty checks from these things. He got single card billing at the start of the film, and he got eaten by a plant about half an hour in. Like, good on him. So, yeah. Godzilla in collaboration Kong. I think it's fair to say that none of us were particularly looking forward to this.
Nope.
I was psyched for this.
Well, you were, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, no, all right. Fair enough then. Bex, I'll start with you. How was the Godzilla X Kong experience?
Okay, so in preparation for this, my intention was to watch every MonsterVerse bit of content that was available. Didn't quite manage it because I didn't get to the end of Monarch. I'm about halfway through, but I was fine with it. So watched all the movies and the animated series that's on Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah, which is really fun actually. Like real Saturday morning cartoons vibes with it. It's good, and it's not like you don't need to have seen it. It's like to understand stuff, but it gives context to Skull Island, if that makes sense. And the Iwi and that kind of vibe, that stuff. But there is very much a good, less good, shit pattern that goes through the films. Because King of the Monsters is not great and versus Kong is shit. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get myself like even more psyched up by watching all this stuff, and then by the time I finished versus Kong, I was a bit like, oh shit, this could be bad because it's the same director. This could be not a good trend that's going on. And for me anyway, like I know it's subjective, but it really pulls it back in XCOM for me. New Empire was I really fucking enjoyed it, but I think I said to you last night, didn't I? I think I enjoyed it more for having recently rewatched all of the other movies. I think the stuff that I maybe wouldn't have recognised or whatever for the reference it was had I not watched all of them. Because obviously they're strung out over like a number of years, aren't they? It's easy to forget stuff that happened in the first fucking movie. The fact that when we were watching it, you went, "What the fuck's Hollow Earth?"
Yeah, I did do that.
I didn't do that because I've watched all the other movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad I did it. But yeah, really liked it. Godzilla treating the Colosseum like a fucking cat bed just gave me a real happy moment. I didn't really. It's just. Do you know what I quite like about it? Sorry, I tripped myself up over my own thoughts. Then I like the fact that he's just a bit of a prick again in this one.
What, Godzilla?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's trampling for all sorts, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit in this one. Like, and he's just his motivation throughout the whole sort of series of movies just seems to be, no, I'm the best one. Fuck off. So, like, if there's another Titan that's almost as powerful or he thinks might be deemed to be more powerful than him, he just goes and fucks it up. He's just a prick. But then I'm just going to call them 3 and 4 because I can't bother with the real names. It concentrates too much on the human shit. And, I mean, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. And I am aware this is a failing of my own, but it doesn't help that Millie Bobby Brown is in those two. She's sufferable.
She in both of them?
In 3. She's insufferable in 4. She's got to the age where she started doing the Millie Bobby Brown shit that you get off her now in interviews and stuff, and it's just irritating. The rest of the adults that are involved are grown-ups, and then there's this fucking precocious kid just being a cunt throughout it, and I can't be bothered with her character. But I am aware that that's probably because I hate her as an actress. But yeah, the story's just weak, and it's too...
What, this?
No, in Versus Kong. It's too thin. They've tried to put too much in, and then it doesn't really delve into anything. With them having both of their stories, the Kong one and the Godzilla one going on simultaneously and then joining up at the end. And it's billed as Godzilla versus Kong, and then it's not really, because it is for like 5 minutes, and then it's Godzilla and Kong versus Mechagodzilla. So it's... Yeah, it's just a bit shit, but it seems to have found its way again with this one. And Kong with his like lizard pony at the end, really enjoyed that. His icy lizard pony.
I mean, I like Godzilla just like making the Colosseum his fucking B&B.
That was great. Like, it was good when he first does it, but then he just goes back at the end and goes back to sleep. It's mint.
So. The human stuff, I'll just touch on that for a second. I would have had a real problem with that if it wasn't for Dan Stevens. Like, Becky Hall and Brian Tyree Henry are not bringing a lot to the party here.
No.
But Dan Stevens, that character, I can't remember, was he in Godzilla vs. Kong?
No, he's not in any of the others before.
That's brilliant, because he just comes in and he
like
just
he's
feels...
always been there.
Doesn't he?
I genuinely just thought I'd forgotten him from Godzilla vs. Kong. Because I have seen it, but I think I was like half asleep, willingly.
No, so like her hot guy sidekick, Becky Hall's hot guy sidekick in that one is Alexander Skarsgård.
Skarsgård, that's right.
It is, yeah. But yeah, so
I think I accurately summed up his character in this movie.
Well, you did accurately sum up his character in this movie, actually, Becky. Yeah.
So Dan Stevens was playing Trapper as Face melded with Murdoch from the A-Team.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sure. Yeah, I just... The minute
him in this.
the minute he comes in, he's like singing along to that thing, and like his entry is being a Kong dentist. Badass. That is ace. And then he's just so lived in. Like, it's just this guy who is just baked in this world, loves doing what he's doing, seems to be just like super positive. And like, you know, he takes stuff seriously, but at the same time he's doing it all with a smile on his face, but not in a kind of like a Ryan Reynolds constantly quippy way either. Like, his character seems to take pleasure in being around these people. you know, and yeah, I don't know. I felt like it was just unique, and I kind of feel like that must just be Dan Stevens just deciding to have some fun with the role, because I would say it's on the page, but if it was, then Brian Tyree Henry at the very least would have had a more interesting character to play.
Well, that's what I said to you, isn't it? Like, Rebecca Hall in this just feels really weak to me, and you said, didn't you? Like, well, she's not really given an awful lot to do, but she doesn't do anything with what she is given. She doesn't give it any personality whatsoever. It's so flat. Whereas Dan Stevens is just, like you say, it's obvious that he's made like a conscious choice to go, yeah, no, I'm making this character my own.
Yeah, really, really does. I mean,
and vibe-wise, like, he would fit in really well in like the Skull Island movie vibe. He's got that kind of like weirdly Vietnam gung-ho vibe to him as a character.
Yeah, he's attuned with the wonder of it all and not bogged down by the this could end mankind thing. It's like I'm having a great time. I'm in the middle of Earth.
I get to fit a false tooth for a giant ape. This is mint.
I've got a great idea. What you won't have time to get out of there? No, it's weirder than that.
Yeah, because this is the thing. It's like so many films that are purported to be like fun. The characters aren't having fun in them.
No,
you know.
Yeah.
It's a really, really decent performance and very much elevates what is some really ropey shit. Like the stuff with the Becky Hall wanting to connect with the girl and like the Iwi tribe and I don't know. All Rebecca Hall seems to do in this film is exposition or why won't she connect with me?
Yeah,
like that. Those are the two modes. But yeah, Mark, what overall? What did you think of the film?
Overall, the thing is, when you're watching a Godzilla versus Kong movie, the best bits that you shouldn't come out of it being the time you spend with one of the human characters.
I don't think it is though. I think the Kong stuff's really good. The Godzilla stuff, there's not a much you can do with Godzilla apart from him stomping around and wrecking shit.
Come on, Godzilla suplexes Kong into a pyramid.
Yeah,
come on, that's good shit.
I was alright with that, but then the Titan fights were just a little bit. There was too much. It was just big CGI things smashed into big CGI things.
But you've also got Kong picking up baby Kong and then almost using it as a slapping glove.
I mean, I did like that. Yeah,
that was great.
That's the thing. It's like I agree, Mark. There's a lot of like CG mush in this and CG just fighting CG, but every now and then you get okay, Wingard, fair play, that was a fun idea.
I also really enjoyed the bit where like it does like a close up on Godzilla's face and he opens his eyes and looks really confused and then it just pans out and it's Kong's just dragging him along by the tail towards the vortex.
The thing is, Wingard is having a lot of fun with all the tools that he's got in a box, and then more tools than I think he ever thought he would have. And he's having a lot of fun with those. My issue is it propels along at a heck of a pace. It's 2 hours long, roughly. It propels along at a heck of a pace, and then it gets to the last half an hour, and that just drags like a motherfucker. The villain's shit for a start off.
The Scar King, yeah.
I was thinking, it's going to be like, if it's going to take these two fucking titans to take it down, what the fuck is it going to be? It's somebody who looks like Kong should be able to beat up on his own.
Yeah, no, but the whole point is that he can't because he's got the icy pony.
Yeah, but then Godzilla looks like he should be able to beat up the icy fucking pony, who looks a little bit like Bill Nye.
Sure.
It does, yeah.
But we have that, you look at it going, alright, there, and then just fucking Mothra starts twatting about looking like an actual moth.
You leave Mothra alone.
It just...
She's a queen.
By that point, I was
Queen of the
watching going, I don't care. I don't even really like Kong that much. See, I don't know.
You don't like Kong?
No, not that big a fan of him, really. Kong, but not that Kong, I don't know. Just seems a bit fucking whiny.
I think you're 100% wrong on all of everything that you just said.
I like Godzilla.
It clips along. Like, I came out of that and I was like, how long was that? Because that has flown by.
It did until the last half an hour, and then you're
Including-
there going, oh great, this is just a CGI smash fest. Brilliant.
I
What
feel
did you
like
expect? Did you expect them to like actually train a lizard and a gorilla to have a fight?
I'd be more entertained. It wouldn't last very long, because can we see the size of a gorilla compared to the biggest lizard?
Well, exactly. So they wouldn't be able to fucking do it, would they?
No, but I'm just saying, it was a
Just
little
using false
bit.
perspective.
It was a little bit smashy smash, and that was it. I was just a bit like, I don't
What
care.
did you expect from a movie like this?
A better villain.
Oh, he's a
Poor
cunt.
Brazil.
He's a cunt with an icy pony.
I'm not the in-between one in these all that much, I feel like. This is fascinating, because I agree with both of you.
The thing is,
I didn't like that Godzilla like ate that pink water dragon person. Like, leave it alone.
you needed the power.
I know, but that's just mean.
I-
He's just a dick, and I like that. I like that he's a dick again, but I didn't like that he ate the water dragon lady. Oh, I assumed she's a lady because it was pink.
They refer to it as a lady.
Yeah, they do.
She. They called her she quite a
Yeah.
few times. I mean, who fucking checked?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Who's gendering these? Dan Stevens is gendering these.
Dan
things,
Stevens
yeah.
checked, fair
He's the
enough.
vet.
Just snorkeled under and went, hey, just going to check something. It's a girl.
I mean, the thing is, the film's done, like, pretty fucking well. Like, they reckoned it was going to do about 50 million in the US. It ended up doing 80. And it felt like there was just some real demand to see this big again. Like, I know Godzilla vs. Kong, like, actually did quite well for COVID times, but it feels like people had almost forgotten that one. And we're like, right, okay, let's just have another go with this. And people wanted to see these two have a bit of a Barney on screen. And it's a genius move that even though they're not pitted up against each other, there's the whole, but if Kong goes up to Godzilla's territory, Godzilla's going to be pissed off about it. So there's still that excuse to have them fight.
Oh, I really enjoyed that bit as well, though, when he gets up there and he's like doing hand gestures to kind of go, no, dickhead.
Yeah.
I'm here to ask for help. But
Godzilla-
Godzilla just don't fucking get it.
Godzilla just don't
He
give
don't
a
care.
shit. Yeah.
And Godzilla, like, Kong's just like, oh, fuck's sake, right. And then they have the ding dong, tries to drag him down the hole. I really enjoyed that section.
I mean, I enjoyed the kind of like there's chunks of this film where there's no dialogue, you know, where like the Kong in the Hollow Earth section, but like when he meets the mini Kong and you know, it's all being told through body language and violence. You know, like I thought it was really quite ballsy actually to have it go for that long, and the same again when you're first introduced to the Scar King.
That's a really good point, actually. Yeah, it is. And then the problem is it's backed up with some really clunky fucking exposition from.
Yeah.
From what's her name?
Rebecca Hall.
Yeah, I mean, and when they go into the iwi bit and there's all the cave drawings and like I mean that stuff is rough.
Yeah. She's literally reading it like a book and going, those hieroglyphics are not that descriptive.
No.
Yeah. That's like single spaced A4 two sides of from a few fucking carvings.
But look, I was pleasantly surprised by this. I was expecting a 2.5. I'm at a 3.5, maybe nudging a 4, but not quite there.
I'm at
way
3.
better than I thought it would be.
I'm at 3, and I think I'm being a bit miserly.
You
I think
are
I'm
being a
probably
bit
3.
miserly, yeah.
I think I should probably be a 3.5. But I still think the best bit of it is where Dan Stevens gives Brian Tyree Henry a hug to let him know that everything's going to be okay after that guy gets eaten by a tree.
Yeah.
I just again, Dan Stevens. Sorry.
Yeah, it's dragged across characters from the weakest film into it that it's then got to like work around.
Yeah.
And they're just not great.
It's what I will say though is just while we're on the Dan Stevens thing, I love the little career that he's carved out for himself.
Oh yeah.
Like he very much is I'm just going to do whatever I want and whatever I find interesting. Like he's basically done this probably because he had a good relationship with Wingard because of working on The Guest. And then he crops up in this, but he's in that Abigail that's coming out later this year, but he also does he just crops up in interesting stuff.
Well, and he's in that Cuckoo as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he looks like the main antagonist in Cuckoo, to be fair.
Yeah. So he's just doing these things just because it's interesting, but he seems to have a real good energy to himself.
Has he been a voice in 2 Ghibli movies as well?
Yeah.
Fair.
I thought that's because he really likes Studio Ghibli movies.
Yeah, and he's a voice in the Sea Beast. Sea Beast's an underrated classic.
You really like that, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, it's mint.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I'm currently listening to him twice a day, reading fucking Frankenstein to me.
He does quite a lot of audiobooks as well, doesn't he?
He's got a good voice for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely not shit on it. It's fun enough. I'm less in tune with the Kong world, but I do prefer Godzilla. I like Godzilla going back to the Colosseum was wonderful.
Yeah, it was good. I do think, because I didn't like Skull Island when it came out. I really, really enjoyed it on rewatch.
Yeah.
I would say revisit it. It does make you it does make you like Kong more. I also would say, for anyone that likes the movies, if you've not watched Monarch, definitely watch it. If the movies are the various components of a roast dinner, Monarch is the gravy that binds it all together.
Fair play.
It's interesting. Is Godzilla in it?
Not. Yes and no. Like it's the present day sections, or not present day, but like the latter day sections in it are after G Day, when he goes to San Francisco.
Right.
And then there's like back in the past sessions, but like is it John Goodman's character in Skull Island? He's in the sort of in the past sections. It's Bill Randa but younger, and then it kind of ties all the Monarch shit together.
Yeah. Okay. It's one. How many episodes is it?
10.
Ah, fuck. I was hoping you'd say 8. Okay, maybe one day.
Skull Island, the animated series, is only 8. If that helps.
Yeah, but it's animated.
So are Ghibli movies.
Yeah, but they're good.
You can't really say that if you haven't watched it, though, can you? It is good.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I can. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe because Wingard wants to do a final one. It's like in the run up to that. Maybe
It should be called Godzilla X Kong featuring Trapper.
oh, that'd be great. That fucker's going to be greenlit in like the next week as well.
Oh god, yeah.
It made the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire like dip 65% week on week in the US. Fucking beautiful.
Yeah, people do not give a shit.
I mean, but honestly, I said last week I like Frozen Empire more than Afterlife. There was stuff about it I liked, but seriously, people do not give a shit.
No.
So yeah, there we are. Cool. Okay.
It's do you know what I think it is? Just very quickly on that. I know we've done the Ghostbusters thing. This isn't Ghostbusters bashing. I'm not going to be. What is it?
I will.
I think that what the studios don't understand, or people around the property don't understand, is there is a very big difference between brand recognition and actual brand knowledge and nostalgia. So people understand what Ghostbusters is. It's a very recognisable logo, and they understand the idea of it. I just doubt there's that many people, and I'm not just saying of young people or anything like that, but I just don't think that many people care or have watched it that much. I don't think there is the universal love and clamour for there to be more Ghostbusters content than there actually is right now.
It's an interesting one.
The best thing that you could do with Ghostbusters now, in the current climate, in the way that everything is now, is if you made it into a Bunny Ears podcast. Drink if you're playing Film Bastards Bingo. Turn it into a prestige, but I'm not talking about dramatic prestige. A well-funded 30-minute sitcom series on some streaming service.
It's interesting.
So you go fucking 8 to 12 episodes. Here you go. It's funny. There's a different arc. You've got a monster of the week element. The Ghostbusters go up there. They just bust ghosts and they crack fucking jokes. You can have it as a new Ghostbusters, and then you can go, well, do you know what? We've only got Bill Murray for fucking 2 days, but in those 2 days, he can appear in 6 of these 8 episodes. Where he literally comes in, cracks one quip, or we go and visit him at whatever it is he's doing, and he gets to be on screen for 3 minutes, bang, there you fucking go. We can have 20 minutes of Bill Murray. We can have 15 minutes or half an hour of Dan Aykroyd. Same with Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts. We can have that spread out over an entire fucking series. And that, what you'd do there is, if it was decent, you'd get people would go, do you know what, that Ghostbusters, it's quite funny. And plus people are only investing a half an hour to see if they actually enjoy it. Whereas, I just don't think there's the clamour to get people to go out there to watch, you know, the new Ghostbusters. There's almost an element of, that was the new Paul Rudd movie that happened to be a Ghostbusters movie element to it. I just think that a TV show, 30 fucking minutes, bang, there you go. People would watch it. Whereas I don't think people will wait to watch the film at home.
Oh my god, you know, like the cartoon series?
Yeah.
They should do that, but with the new guys.
Yeah, just do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
That was a fucking great cartoon, that.
It's a fucking great cartoon.
It's just this.
Godzilla X Kong, definitely not shit.
No, but I mean, just to finish up with that point, and yeah, definitely not shit. It's interesting because like Jurassic Park, they do that, they like reboot that, it works. You know, Jurassic City's going to do well. You know, big monsters like Godzilla and Kong, like these films do well. You know, it's what is it about Ghostbusters? And I think it's because those original 2 films were seasoned comedy stars. It like in a sci-fi fantasy. It was just a weird, an odd mixture that you almost can't replicate, and people keep on trying to replicate it. And you know, Paul, that's what the thing that I thought Paul Feig was doing that was interesting was it is doing that established comedy stars working like in that kind of in that world. And for me, the Paul Feig film works so much more than either of the Reitman kind of like shepherded ones. Yeah. But yeah, I think they'll put it on ice for a bit after this. I mean, the mid-credits, like, what? So the Stay Puft Marshmallow Men are going to be the main threat in the third one, are they? What?
Do you know what's wild about Ghostbusters? There's been, what? How many movies now? there's been 2,
Five.
3, 4, 5, right? The first one is still the highest grossing one.
Yeah. Doesn't that say it all though?
Yeah, the first one grossed over 300 million. The second one grossed over just over 200 million. Ghostbusters, the 2016 one, is the second highest grossing one. These are big numbers. They're not huge numbers. It's, yeah, I just don't think there's as much actual nostalgia beyond the recognition that people think there is.
Yep, quite.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk what we've been up to. Who wants to start?
I've not watched that much. Do you want me to start?
I've also not watched that much, so yeah, go
I
for
thought
it.
you watched a lot of. Have you already?
Well, I have, but I've talked about it.
Yeah, all right. Right. Well, I've watched 2 on my own, and then we've watched 2 together, haven't we, Rebecca?
Yeah.
Had a relatively low-key film watching week due to work and bits like that. What?
Can't believe you watched that.
What? So I watched Netflix original. We all seem to miss this. We didn't do it as a feature review for some reason.
Oddly enough.
Irish Wish.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Starring Lindsay Lohan and 2 gentlemen. It is Motion Picture Corporation of America, Ian.
Hell yeah! Good.
I watched this like a week and a half ago. Genuinely, I cannot remember much of it. But Lindsay Lohan plays a book editor. One of the gentlemen that is in it, he has written a book, and she's been like the editor and has helped him kind of along the way. But she's also developed feelings for him. She thinks he's developed feelings for her, and so wants to kind of like take things further. And he says the same thing, but what he means is he wants to write another book with her, and then just other bits kind of happen, and it is incredibly dull. Like, it is incredibly dull.
Right.
Like, you are watching it going, it genuinely, it is so boring that things and I wasn't doing anything else while I was watching it. I was only watching that because I was watching it at work on my break. When I have my break, I have very little mobile signal, so it's not even I have my phone to distract me. I was watching it, and genuinely, like, 15 minutes would go by, and I'd go, I have no idea what's going on. It is. No, these films aren't made to be good, they are made to happen. And for people who don't need anything to happen to actually, just the fact that there's some nice scenery. And look at Lindsay Lohan, isn't she doing well for herself? Yeah, it's so bad. And some of the dialogue is just... I saw somebody commenting it and said, this dialogue was clearly written by AI. No. AI wouldn't write something this bad. This was written by a human hand. It is genuinely bad. Like, just everybody should feel bad for what happened here. Netflix should refund me a month's worth of subscription to say, look, we're fucking sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And normally, I can eat this shit up with a fucking big spoon. But no, this is bad.
So these types of films that Netflix churn out, they're basically Hallmark movies.
Oh god, yeah. The best thing that I took away from this is, thank God Lindsay Lohan has stopped doing that ridiculous trend of people doing that weird thing with their cheekbones. Thank God she's not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's in 100% in with this. But at least that Christmas one she did, like, the year before last, at least that was fun. This is not fun. And also, you watch it going, might be a little bit fucking, like, insulting to Irish people, this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, not very good. Not very good. Do you know what is good, though? Do you know what is good?
What's that one?
That I watched? I watched the 1986 Hal Needham film, Rad.
Okay, yeah.
Have you seen Rad before, Ian?
No, I've heard of it. Go on.
Yeah. So I watched Rad because this is the type of film that I can eat up with a big old fucking spoon. So Rad is the story about Crew Jones, who is a teenage BMXer in a small town. Right? Loves the BMX. And essentially like what are they called? They're called something. It's like the FAB, the Federation of American Bicyclists, build something called Hell Track in this small town. And it's like this massive, like, big event for all the best BMXers in the world to compete in. And when they're announcing that they're having it in this town, somebody stands up and goes, well, hang on a minute. You've got all these riders from, like, all over the world competing. When it actually goes through the riders, they're all from America. From all over the world competing. Well, why can't someone from our town compete? And they're like, oh, that'd be... Yeah, no, they can try out to compete, thinking that nobody would. Well, fucking Crew tries out, gets in there, and then the bad fucking dude from this Mongoose Racing, who are an actual fucking... The weird thing is, you've got an actual company who make BMX products, essentially are the villains in this. And they're just kind of cool with it. They're the bad guys, but they're kind of alright with it. The guy who runs them basically keeps trying to change the rules all the time to stop Crew from being able to race in it, because he's already, like, made all this merch and all these bits to do with the guy that he knows that is one of his riders that he thinks is going to win it. And that's it. It's incredibly, like... I mean, these things happen where... It tends to happen not as much now, but it happened a lot in the 80s and the 90s, where something would become popular and a movie studio would go, we need a fucking movie about this now. And BMX became popular, we need a movie about BMXers now. And it's that. So it's incredibly fucking cynical. But you've got a school dance where there is a dance sequence on BMXs. And it's fucking beautiful. It's genuinely great, but it's lit up like a proper fucking dance-off scene, and it's just on BMXs. It's great. There is an awful lot of BMX in this, which often doesn't happen in these type of movies. The guy who's like supposed to be winning this race, who he's got another great name. He's called... Oh, what is he called?
I don't know, mate.
Oh, man, where is it? Oh, that's it. He's called Bart Taylor. Right? He's got like these two sidekicks who are twins, who also ride for Mongoose, right? Who are played by Carey and Chad Hayes. Who are... Some people might be asking and going, wait a minute, the guys who wrote the Conjuring movies? Yes, the guys who wrote the Conjuring movies are in this. It's wild. I had a good time with it. It's fun. It's like 90 minutes and it very much knows what it's doing. It's tongue-in-cheek. Mr. Hand from Fast Times at Ridgemont High plays essentially the same character he played in Fast Times at Ridgemont High in this. But it's kind of fun. And yeah, there's an awful... The dialogue is schlocky as fuck. But But it's fun. I had a good time with it. 4K as well. Look great. It's wild, some of the fucking things that are out on 4K.
Yeah, that is weird.
It genuinely is. But, you know, fuck it. God bless Vinegar Syndrome and doing it, because they did that.
Fair.
Yeah. Rad. Honestly, had a great time with it. Talia Shear's in it. She's in it for literally like about 8 minutes in total. And I guarantee you, if at any point after she'd filmed one of her scenes, if you said to her, do you know what this movie's about? She'd be like, not a fucking clue. Yep.
Nice. Bloody hell. Nice.
Great time. Yeah, it has essentially almost the same plot as the 90s movie Airborne, which I also love.
You do love that film.
Yeah. Incidentally, the hell track that they build in it, because they build this actual hell track for the film, apparently when they built it, it was so difficult that none of the riders could actually ride around it in one go. So, without falling off. So they had to composite all of the scenes together. Yeah. Shall we do our what we've been watching together, or
Can do,
a
yeah.
little lead into yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did we watch? We watched Phantoms, didn't we, Becky?
Yeah. Yeah, this was a weird film. I did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
It was very odd.
It is odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 I mean, it's a hell of a cast. Rose McGowan, Liev Schreiber, Ben Affleck, Nicky Cat, Peter O'Toole.
Yeah. Yeah, I did enjoy its vibe though.
It's got a very
Yeah.
It's got
It's
that
got,
kind of
It's very much got a adaptation of a Dean Koontz book vibe to
Yeah.
the movie.
yeah.
Which, you know, isn't a bad thing.
No, it's the thing is it's sci-fi horror of the sort where it's on that cusp of you just about you've got CG has started to happen,
Yeah.
but it's in its infancy and it hasn't quite taken over yet as being the norm. And so you've got the mix of practical effects and just clever staging mixed with some questionable CG at points. And also the weirdness of going, wait a minute, Ben Affleck.
Yeah, young Ben Affleck freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some interesting shots and stuff in it. Like the one that stood out to me was where like Peter O'Toole's shouting for it to show itself or whatever, and then it kind of pans around behind him and shows his view, and then all the people are all of a sudden there.
Yeah.
All the victims. That's a really good shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's doing some interesting stuff.
It's basically it's basically an entity, isn't it? That's existed since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Liev Schreiber's just perfectly cast as the Liev Schreiber character.
Like, he's the most 90s Liev Schreiber anyone can Liev Schreiber.
Yeah. He's so good at being creepy. I'm sure he's a lovely man, but
Yeah, but 90s Liev Schreiber was just like,
he's a wrong one.
yeah, he's about to do something fucking creepy and questionable.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the only other one we watched together was we did a rewatch of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, didn't we?
We did indeed,
I can't
yeah.
remember how
Nice.
we got to this. I suggested one thing, and then I was like,
You said I want to watch a murder mystery.
yeah, but I'd suggested something else that wasn't a murder mystery before, and then somehow we got to The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo from Murder Mystery.
Yeah.
It's such a fucking good film. It makes me really sad that they didn't make the other ones. I mean, obviously they exist, but not by Fincher. But they're not as good stories, and I think possibly he's just.
I just don't think he was
Lost
interested in the
interest,
stories
yeah.
beyond this. Really, I think he was interested in this. The thing is, as well, Fincher is very clear that he has a deep interest in something for a point of time, and then once it loses interest, he just does not give a shit about it anymore.
Yeah, which, you know, I don't think I'll ever forgive him for not finishing up on Manhunter. Oh, that's yeah.
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 No, there's rumblings about that now.
Good. And Alright, well then maybe I will forgive him if he does it.
It's also so perfectly cast, this movie.
Yeah, it really is. And I really enjoy the fact that, like, with a lot of these kind of ones where you've got, like, The Grudge, but it's made by, like, Western filmmakers, and then all of a sudden it's set in America or whatever.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it sticks with it just being in Sweden.
Yeah.
And people have got Swedish accents, and there's Swedish landmarks, and there's little Swedish phrases. Like, the fact that she's just like, hey, hey's all the way through the movie is just, it's just enjoyable, and it feels affectionate without being cynically, we're gonna, you know, like when they make an 80s movie and there's just too much 80s shit in it.
Yeah, you look at going,
Everyone's on
the 80s weren't like that. There wasn't that many things you remember from the 80s in every single frame of the 80s.
Whereas this feels realistically Swedish without it being over the top.
Yeah, they're not driving by an IKEA and they're not eating meatballs every day.
Yeah. But yeah, and I feel like the chemistry between the two main characters is just really good in it as well, and it could have been a little bit icky given the age difference, but it doesn't feel that way because she feels very in control of what's going on around her for the most part.
Yeah,
obviously there's a notable exception, but
because there was an element of she's so much younger than he is. It's like, yeah, but he's also quite fucking hot.
Yeah.
You know, I would say Daniel Craig is pulling some serious fucking. My God, that man dresses well in this.
Yeah.
But I pointed this out to I bet when we were watching it. I think one of my favourite bits in this entire movie, and I think it's glorious. This film is the bit where he's caught him effectively. And he's got him in just this fucking really weird, like, he's strung up, but he's also got a neck brace on for some reason. And it's just the imagery of it is just very, you look at going, if you would take a still of that and go, who directed this movie, you go, it's David Fincher. It just looks very Finchery. The whole setup and the light and everything. And then he literally pours my drink and hands me a drink, but his arms are at a weird angle, but he still takes it off him. And he's like, and he's kind of looking at it, and because Daniel Craig is a very good actor, you can read what his eyes are saying and looking at it and going, why did I take the drink off him? I've now got to hold this fucking thing, and he does, and he holds it, and you know, with the way that Fincher works, that Craig has had to fucking sit there in this fucking weird thing that would have been uncomfortable, holding this glass of fucking whiskey for fucking 80 takes. And it's a fucking long scene. It's not like it's a short 2-minute scene. It's a fucking 8 or 9 minute fucking scene. And just it's got that unique nastiness that Fincher can bring to things.
Yeah.
Just this real unpleasantness that Fincher can bring to a visual. It's there's almost a brutalism to his filmmaking when he wants to do it. That he has.
It's quite visceral.
Yeah, it is, and it's that, and it ticks along at a hell of a fucking pace for the vast majority of it. But then when he wants to slow it down, he will literally go, "Fucking stop, watch," and you go, "All right, this is fucking horrible."
Yeah.
And it has that. He isn't afraid to kind of to do that. There are very few filmmakers out there that can literally get you and fucking roll you down a hill like he can. The Social Network is just being rolled down a fucking hill for the entirety of it, and you're going, "This is fucking great."
Do you know one bit I really enjoy about this film?
What?
You know the bit where she's got the bad guy.
Yeah.
Chained up, and obviously she's inserted something into somewhere.
Yeah.
The bit where she kicks it.
Oh, the sound.
But the sound, but the fact as well that she kicks it like a striker kicks a football. Like she properly like gets a whole body into it, and it's just like it's so fucking satisfying to watch because you can imagine the power behind that kick.
David Fincher made a $90 million movie that they released on fucking Christmas Day in America, where somebody kicks a dildo up someone's fucking arse.
Yeah.
And in the same movie, a cat gets murdered and its limbs playing out a swastika. It's horrible. They're horrible imageries. But Fincher doesn't care. He has no care whatsoever. He's just going to go, no, I need this because it needs to make sense for this, and all these pieces need to fit in. It's a staggering piece of work. And to say it's probably not even in his top 3 films just shows, I think, how much we underappreciate just how fucking wonderful David Fincher is as a filmmaker.
Or was.
I still think he's got it in him.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he needs something. He needs to be obsessed with something.
Yeah, but wasn't he obsessed with that other fucking film you made and it was crap?
I think his passion projects are not good for him.
Yeah.
But you always do make a very good point of, is there any point in highlighting something if you're highlighting everything?
God, yeah, that's it, when he's reading the fucking notes.
He does highlight pretty much everything.
Every fucking line. Just makes the whole process redundant.
Yeah. Great film, though.
Yeah, very good. Very, very good.
That's it for me.
I haven't watched much on my own. I obviously watched the Monsterverse stuff, but we've discussed that. The only ones I watched so I watched a random fucking weird little horror movie called The Call. Watched it really because it's got Lynn Shay and Tobin Bell in it.
Yeah.
It's a good start.
Yeah, do you know what? They're both good in it for the bits they have to do. I can't recommend the film. It's like...
Becky, you find that love with horror?
No. No. So... It's not that bad. It's kind of like a halfway house between a teen horror movie and then like a Lynn Shay, Tobin Bell type horror movie that would be a bit more kind of grown up. So basically these teenagers go and terrorise this woman on a semi-regular basis because she used to run like a daycare and a girl went missing and one of the sisters is part of this group of teenagers that go and they like throw shit at the house all the time because they blame this woman for the girl dying. Then after one such terrorising incident, the woman is Lynn Shay, by the way, Lynn Shay comes out and shouts at them and she goes back inside and she ends up killing herself. And then Tobin Bell, who is her husband, gets them all round to the house to tell them that she's mentioned them in her will, despite the fact that they did all this horrible stuff. You know, she's a better woman than I am. She's mentioned you in her will. However, my wife likes to play games, and there's a condition. If you meet this condition, you get, I think it's like $100,000 each. And the condition is they have to go up to a room in the house and call a specific number and stay on the phone for like a minute. And the phone number that's been called is a cell phone that's been put in the coffin with Lynn Shay when she's been buried. And yeah, spooky shit ensues. I won't give too much away. It's an interesting enough watch, but I don't think it does enough with its concept. But basically when they make the call, the kids are transported into like their worst memories. And then they have to explore within this sort of territory that they're sent to find the phone again, to pick it up, and then they're transported back out of it. But if not, they get trapped in these awful memories, and the awful memories are like real. So like one of the kids, it's the fact that their dad beat the shit out of him, so he gets trapped in his memories with his dad chasing him and beating the shit out of him. Yeah, it's. I can't recommend it because it's not good, but it is interesting enough to watch.
I'm probably not going to watch it.
No, I can completely understand that. Yeah, weird film. And then the other film I watched, I've talked about a bajillion times before. I rewatched Repo, the Genetic Opera, because it's just something I do every once in a while. I will say though, it's normally a film that I watch when I've had a few beers, so I normally watch it at a certain level of inebriation. Watching it stone cold sober and like, just, I suppose like taking it in a different kind of way. It's different experience.
Not as good.
Not as fun, I would say.
I mean, as somebody who's had to sit with it through several times, I would say that does not surprise me.
The ending's very weak, but the songs are good. So, and the guy that plays the like grave robber guy, he's just fucking mint in it. That's it. That's all I've watched on my own.
What are you been up to here?
Nice. Yeah, okay, so got a fair few things. Right, we watched Wonka. Yeah, alright, fine. Wonka is charming until it maybe hangs around for longer than it should. I think that's where I'm at with Wonka. 20 minutes in, I said to Donna, this is really charming. And 5 minutes later, Donna said, I can't do with the singing, I'm having a bath, and walked out. Lottie and I watched the rest of it though, and yeah, like Wonka is good. It is good. It is better than I probably said it was at the time. It's not a banger, but it's good. Okay. I watched 3 Kung Fu Panda films, but not including the first one. So 2, 3, and 4. Don't really have much to say about these, to be honest. 2, Gary Oldman's An Evil Peacock, and Lottie just kept on saying throughout the film, "This is why I don't like peacocks," which was pretty good. Yeah,
fair.
Yeah, she's got.
I'm agreeing
on
that.
She had some real like that peacock's a right prick energy about it. It was great. 3, I actually quite like. It's a really, really nice ending to a series of films, and it's got Poe kind of realizing his true purpose. Really, really nice ending where he just finds himself. I'm sorry, I just said that twice, but it's very, very nice. Kung Fu Panda 4, the latest one that came out in the UK cinemas last week, feels like a direct-to-video spin-off a little bit. The Angelina Jolie, Jackie Chan, Seth Rogen and whatnot, they're not in this one. They're almost poochied. But they're off having adventures. So it's Jack Black and Awkwafina, because Awkwafina will appear in any animated film you pay her for.
Hey, you've got a voice people recognise.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're going against Viola Davis is the bad guy in this. She's all right.
Sure.
Yeah, she's all right. She plays the chameleon, and she can make herself turn into other animals and stuff. And it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It is straight down the line, 3 out of 5. It feels budget. Like, the action just is not nearly as well choreographed or just visually interesting as 2 and 3 in particular are. But it's really short, and Jack Black does a cover of Baby One More Time at the end, so can't complain about that too much. So there you go. What I can complain about is Next Goal Wins. So this is Taika Waititi's latest effort, which is on Disney Plus now. The first half an hour of this is fucking awful. Really misjudged are we actually just going to do let's laugh at the funny American Samoa people and Michael Fassbender dead naming a trans player? Very, very odd stuff. And then after that, it settles down into the most minimum viable product sports movie you have ever seen. It's just really fucking lazy energy wafting from this film. It's Taika Waititi just going like, you think I'm funny, don't you? So you'll find this funny. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Fassbender just just lost at sea in it, if I'm honest. His character is a bit of a prick who doesn't really learn anything, and just isn't funny either. It's like a fish out of water thing, but it also weirdly offensive in ways. I'm not surprised. Like, and apparently, like, there's a much longer cut of this where like important characters were just completely ripped out of this one, and I'm not surprised because it does feel like it just yada yada yadas like a lot of stuff. So yeah, really, and I don't know, just like the fact this is based off of a documentary, that it's almost like Taika Waititi going, well, I could do this better than that. No, he needs to be real careful about what his next project is, I think. Okay. Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is the one that came out last year. So this one is, for an hour and 45 minutes, a Hunger Games film, and then there's almost like a 45-minute epilogue where it's, and this is why the bad guy in the other ones is bad. Because it's basically, it's the young version of Donald Sutherland's President Snow, but like how he kind of like started off his career as someone coaching a Hunger Games participant played by Rachel Zegler here, who's actually pretty good. And then he falls for her. But at the same time, he also wants to get ahead, and he wants his family to kind of like get the position he thinks they always should have attained. So you've got this really difficult high wire act of there's supposed to be like a tragic love story between the two of them, but also he turns into the bad guy from the other films. So how are you going to make the central character do that? And it does kind of whiff the landing, but there's almost points for, but fucking hell, like you did an okay job at actually what is a very difficult assignment, especially for like a young adult book adaptation. It's not bad. It's not bad. Like the epilogue, the overextended epilogue is a bit, fuck me, this is escalating quickly, and quite a lot of these motivations don't make an awful lot of sense. But yeah, it's quite well played. The guy, the lead guy, what's his name? Tom Blythe, who, I mean, looking at what he hasn't been in all that much. And yeah, he ain't bad. He ain't bad. So
I recognise him from something, and I don't know what it is from. Have a look.
But while you're doing that, though, Zegler's like good as well. Like, she's got this almost kind of like slightly feral energy about her, which works pretty well. But also, she's got pipes and she knows how to use them. Because like there's a whole kind of like plot point of this, of her kind of gaining popularity by singing these powerful songs about oppression and stuff. And also, Jason Schwartzman plays what I think is like Stanley Tucci in the other films, in like his dad, but obviously it's like in the past, so he's younger, and he's great. Like he's really, really good in this. He's not in it much, but when he is, he's like the best thing in it. So, what do you recognise him from?
No, nothing I've seen him in. It must just be, don't know, but it must have one of those faces.
Fair enough. I watched Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, Taylor's version on Disney Plus. 3.5 hours long. This.
It's a chunky beast, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, I mean, the staging's great. I really like the music. Like, there's a lot of kind of like in between song stuff where like she's talking to the crowd and like not doing a great job of making it seem like she doesn't do this kind of patter at every single gig. But the staging's really, really good, and you know it was a good bop to have some beers with on a good Friday night. The Taylor's version aspect of it is basically the last half an hour wasn't in the theatrical version, and it's just like a bunch of acoustic songs, and you could probably, it's like you climb at, and also actually. The Eras Tour, it's like she does a few songs from each album. It ends with her latest album at time of recording, Midnights, which isn't one of her strongest. And the one they do before that is 1989, which is just like basically wall-to-wall bangers. So it kind of ends on a bit of a note as well. But I kind of get it because it was her latest album at the time. But yeah. Obviously for fans only, but I enjoyed it. Okay, I've got a few more. Sorry, Terminator: Dark Fate. I gave this a rewatch.
How did you get on with this on rewatch?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think I gave it a 2 out of 5 on first watch apparently, but I also remember we'd been drinking. I think I was too harsh. Like the problem with this is that Linda Hamilton and Mackenzie Davis are pretty decent. But they're not the one who is going to be like the future saviour of mankind. That's this character played by Natalia Reyes, who has been in fuck all after this. She's only got 8 credits on Letterboxd total. And she basically just reacts to things for basically the entire film. Linda Hamilton, though, pretty great. Arnie rules. I forgot what how the Terminator is in this was. So, spoiler alert. So, like, at the start of the film, it's Linda Hamilton saying that, a Terminator caught up with them and killed John. And then about an hour into the film, like, they've been getting these mysterious messages from someone, and they get coordinates to the person's place, and they go there, and it's this Terminator, and essentially, in the timeline that he came from, Skynet's been destroyed because in Dark Fate, it's not Skynet; it's this new AI called Legion. So now he's not getting any orders anymore. So he kills John Connor. That's the mission complete. But in his kind of future, Skynet's not there anymore. So now he's just around humans. And he doesn't necessarily want to kill any humans because he's not being programmed to now. Like, his orders were kill John Connor, then we'll give you more orders, but he killed John Connor and never got any more orders. So he basically kind of grows a conscience, or like a robot version of a conscience, and feels regret for what he did. So he's been sending these messages to Sarah Connor, pointing her to where Terminators are coming from to give her purpose. And that kind of gives him purpose as well in a roundabout way. So it's a Terminator who regrets what he did, which that's an interesting way of going about things. It's not just like he's reprogrammed or whatever. It's he learned. Also, I will say, the cinematography in this film is so dark that at points it is genuinely tricky to see what's going on. Like, legitimately, you would need to turn up the brightness. And I was watching this in HDR, so it should be a really really good contrast ratio, and even then, like,
It's not.
no, yeah. But Dark Fate, interesting film. Doesn't need a sequel either. It actually tells quite a complete story, and it's not going to get one. Okay, I'm nearly done. Ready Player One. So after we kind of talked about it last week, Donna, Lots, and I watched it the other night. Yeah, I've good time out by all. Certainly don't think it's perfect. I just think it's really fucking hilarious that at the end of the film, it's like, we're gonna make people go outside by like 2 days a week. They can't come to the Oasis. 2 days a week. The other 5 days a week, fill your fucking boots. But the other 2 days a week, touch some grass. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a fun kind of throwaway. Doesn't really have a lot to say, even though it kind of slightly thinks it does. A bit of fun. But the Shining bit, when they walk into the cinema and they're suddenly just in that foyer in The Shining, it is like genuinely fucking breathtaking. Like, that is an incredible bit of cinema, and I love it. So,
how did Lottie like it?
Yeah, she enjoyed it. Yeah, she had a good time with it. Was like kind of excitedly chatting through it. Like, easily got through it in one sitting now. Like, yeah, it's great. If she's into a film, she will just sit there for the whole thing now. I couldn't have said that even a couple of years ago. So yeah, no, she had a really good time with it.
Nice.
Yes, it's fun. It's just it is quite slight in the end of the day, despite being like a $200 million Steven Spielberg film. And also Ty Sheridan, bit of a wet blanket as the lead.
I do like him though.
I don't think he's got much of a personality, but all right. And lastly, religious horror time. I watched the first 3 Omen films.
Nice.
So obviously we've got the first Omen coming up. So the Omen, it's an interesting bit of work. This it's Gregory Peck slumming it, but at the same time, you got Jerry Goldsmith like popping off with Oscar-nominated music. You've got the thing I like about like the two. I suppose there's like 2 big set piece kills in this. There's the priest getting like the spire, like getting impaled on the spire. And there's David Warner getting his head chopped off. The thing I like about this is they build up the priest one quite a bit. Like, you've got multiple scenes of David Warner taking photos and developing them, seeing the kind of like the image of the spire, and every single time he takes it, it's getting closer and closer. And then when you get to that set piece, it's preceded by a scene of Patrick Troughton as the priest talking to Gregory Peck, and then Gregory Peck leaves, and then the wind starts coming up, and it really builds and builds and builds and builds and like builds up to that moment. So then with the David Warner one, you've got one shot where David Warner's like, well, actually, he's talking to Gregory Peck, and he's like, well, I do have a stake in this because look at this, and it's like a picture with like a line going through David Warner's head, and then you don't have any more of that. And I think there must be a good half an hour or so between that and then what is comparatively quite a quick death. It's just David Warner's walking along. He's stood there. A car or a van is like at the top of like a slope. The handbrake comes off. It starts coming down. Drives at David Warner. Sheet of glass goes through David Warner's head. Cuts it off. And I just love that there's so much build up to the priest one that it almost lulls you into forgetting that something's coming for David Warner. And then when it does, I swear, like, Richard Donner must have had like 7 different cameras set up to take that fucking shot. Because it's just the head flying off with all sorts of angles. Like, they obviously knew it was the one. And it's...
This is the big one.
Oh, it's ace. And also, like, Billy Whitelaw as Mrs. Baylock, fucking brilliant. Like, she's so unhinged. And, like, it's just the fact that it's like Gregory Peck and Lee Remick's characters know it from the start. But it's like, but why wouldn't she be what she says she is? And she says she's got references, but at the same time, she's like immediately bringing a fucking dog into the house and saying, "Oh, he's not going to church. He'll be more comfortable here," and just being a passive aggressive dickhead. And she's brilliant. So yeah, The Omen. I really like. I like The Omen. It is dark as fuck. And yeah, just really fun, creepy time. So Damien Omen 2, directed by Don Taylor, who I want to say directed maybe Beneath the Planet of the Apes. He's like a bit of a jobber.
Yeah,
one
of those guys.
Yeah. So immediately, the vibe has shifted a bit, and I want to very quickly demonstrate this by just getting the opening titles of The Omen 2 up, and I want to play you the score. And this is Jerry Goldsmith again. But let's
Goldsmith again.
Sorry, yeah, he does all three. And let me just say that this is propulsive.
That doesn't feel like it should be for The Omen.
Nope. Just what's the bow.
Yeah, that doesn't feel like it should be for The Omen.
Here we go. And straight away, it's this like kind of exorcist character, priest character from the first one, driving at high speed, and like immediately it's like, right, we got to get going. Let's go. Let's have this crazy music. You know, and let's be having it. So this time, Damien is living with his uncle and aunt and cousin, and he's at a military academy, and he's like starting to realise that something weird's happening. And you know, there's a couple of like apostles of Satan around, kind of like basically guiding him. And there's an interesting 10-15 minutes in this where it's Damien kind of realising who he is and struggling with it. But then around that, you've got just random deaths happening all over the fucking place. But most of them are quite shit, and that's a real problem, because with The Omen, you've only got a few, you know, and they're well done. And like Lee Remick, it's like really heartbreaking. It's just like Mrs. Baylock basically seems to push her out a window or something. It's really fucking sad. With this, it's basically any time someone's like, that kid looked at me funny, 2 minutes later they're dead, and it starts to just get a bit, right, if we're gonna Final Destination this, let's have some fun with it. But yeah, there isn't much. There's one death where a guy basically gets chopped in half by like a falling escalator wire. And that one, again, they do it in slow motion, and they do it from a couple of angles. They're obviously going for the David Warner, but it's just not quite there. But again, the ending, nice and dark. Lance Henriksen plays like one of the apostles, and like he's just like, yep, you look like you worship Satan. And it's fine. It's fine. It absolutely loses the like just quieter, more chilling tone. Ramps up the deaths, ramps up the like story around it all as well, and it's like it's kind of trying to say how kind of like business is evil as well, but at the same time it's also Damien, but then Damien can't actively kill these people for most of the film because he doesn't know what he is. But at the end he kind of pops off a bit and it's fun. So that leads us to Omen 3: The Final Conflict, or as the film actually is titled within the film, just The Final Conflict, which is weird. So this is Sam Neill as Damien. And now you've got Sam Neill wrapping his fucking mouth fully round some brilliant dialogue. Like, he is doing, monologues. He's doing, like, almost Shakespearean monologues about how he is gonna cut down the Nazarene. He's gonna make sure that everybody, like, rejects the banality of Christ. And, like, you know, and everybody will worship his father. And it's got a batshit plot where he conspires with a bunch of his acolytes to kill every single baby boy born in England between midnight and 6 a.m. on, like, the something of June. Because one of them is, like, the next coming of Christ. And, like, you gotta realise what's going on. It's, wow, they're going to do that, are they? And there is a montage of people setting up baby deaths. You don't ever see any of them,
but it's there.
But it's there. There's one really horrible bit where a woman has a vision of ironing her baby. And then she kind of does it. And obviously you don't see any of this stuff because, like, the film would probably be banned, quite frankly. But it's, I don't know, like, there's a bit where these devil worshipping kids, because there's, like, kids who are followers of Satan in this, like, throw a ball over a fence, and then that distracts this woman, and then she lets go of the pram, and it, like, rolls down a hill and then gets hit by a car. And so you've got that. You've got Sam Neill doing these massive hammy monologues, but it all feels so fucking budget. Like, it's supposed to be this epic conclusion, and it's a bunch of people talking, and you know, that's okay, but it's setting up, like, this love interest for Damien, and, like, her son becomes, like, an acolyte of Damien's, and it's getting on for 2 hours long, and it never quite goes for the jugular in the way you expect the plot to. And Sam Neill, like, does a lot of these speeches, but he does them to no one. There's one good one, even though there is one good one where he's doing it with all these the acolytes, and they're kind of, like, chanting at him and stuff, and that's really good. Like, it feels like if Sam Neill's performance was in a film that was better around him, this would be remembered fondly. But instead, like, the conclusion of this is just, what's going on? Like, is there a baby there? And how is that baby Christ? And now Christ appears to be what's happening? And yeah, But also, I will say about this, there's also a subplot where a bunch of priests are trying to kill Damien, and, you know, there's just multiple scenes of priests setting up traps for Damien and then him getting out of them. They're kind of entertaining, but also this is a bit low budget and shit. It's so far away from what The Omen does. I kind of respect, like, Sam Neill is. I don't know whether he's good in it, but my God, is he going for it? And that almost makes it worth a watch, but not quite. So there you go. Omen films. I don't think I'm going to watch the 2006 remake that was so close to the original that the WGA basically insisted that the only screenwriter be credited on it be the original screenwriter from the original film, despite the fact he didn't even work on the remake. That's how close the remake is.
Fucking hell. That was Liev Schreiber.
Yes, Liev Schreiber and Julia Stiles, if memory serves.
Yeah.
And is it? I think Thewlis is in the Warner role.
He is in, yeah, he is.
Yeah. But I think that's it for Omen films until the first Omen. The first Omen apparently is not bad.
Yeah, it's getting some decent enough reviews, isn't it?
I'm pleasantly surprised after that last trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me. And I don't think so we don't have Twitter questions, no?
We don't, unfortunately. Apologies for that, guys. But I'll make sure I get them out for next week.
No worries. Okay, so
what are we covering next week, Ian?
Next week, so we got The First Omen, like I said. So looking forward to that, and we've also got Dev Patel's directorial debut, Monkey Man. So yeah, looking forward to that too. Seems to be getting some good word, not like 5-star banger kind of stuff, but decent. So yeah, looking forward to both.
Yeah, nice.
And that'll do it for this week's show. So thank you very much for listening, folks. And there we are. I've not been drinking tonight, and usually I do. So I feel like I'm more. I don't quite know what I usually do. I feel like I tell people to fuck off or something, but I don't feel like doing that tonight. So Jason Reitman and Gil Keenan, never mind, boys. Fuck off. Jason Reitman, I look forward to your SNL Origins film making £5 outside the US. And thanks very much, Mark.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Thanks very much, Becky.
Thank you very much, Ian.
And thank you very much, listeners.
I've just realised for the first time that me and Becky were in matching shirts.
Well, not quite matching.
They're very similar.
They're very similar. We're both wearing blue jeans as
We're
well.
both wearing blue jeans and white shirts as well.
Yeah.
White Nikes.
Very nice.
We're in costume as each other.
Costume as each other, yeah.
Shows how much you fucking look at me. You've been sat there for hours.
She hit me just then. Yeah. Bye.
What a revelation. Bye, guys.